So guys, the secret behind the wild haggis has finally been revealed. Here we are about 2 months from when Scotland was released, and we just got official confirmation for how to get Call of the Wild's first cryptid onto your map. Now guys, this will be an actual guide for how to get a haggis into your lodge, along with going over the best method of how to find it once it's on your map. If finding this little creature interests you, you've definitely come to the right place. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So before we get into this guide, I want to go over all updated information about the wild haggis. I mainly found all of this info from a member of the community, so I just want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to Funky Monkey for putting together this wonderful info sheet. This really helps make the process go by a lot quicker, so thank you so much. Funky has absolutely been on top of compiling together this information and has spent over 200 hours in his search, so I would definitely trust what he has to say. Starting off, we know that the wild haggis is a class 2 animal that reaches a max level of 5 medium and makes diamond with a score of 57. I don't have confirmation of what their max weight track is, but comparing the weight ranges and scoring of other kills, I can say that it's safe to assume that it's around 5 to 6 kg. The wild haggis does not seem to have any vital organs and instead has the actual Scottish haggis dish as an internal organ, so as long as you hit it within that area with a class 2 weapon, you should keep the full score of the animal. When looking around your map, pay attention for calls that sound like bagpipes, because apparently this is an indicator that the wild haggis is on your map. Many sources claim that they have heard this sound when fast traveling throughout outposts, but unfortunately I don't know how true this is, but it's important to pay attention to. At the time of making this video, there have been a total of 51 confirmed haggis kills across the community in just under 2 months. Let that number sink in, guys. These things have proven to be a real challenge for the Call of the Wild community. We also know that the wild haggis has 6 confirmed fur types, those being bald spotted, bald calico, crested blonde, crested brown, furry tawny, and furry charred cinnamon. If you happen to be searching your maps for tracks for these guys, here are what their footprints and droppings look like as well. These guys do not have any rest or drink times and instead seem to feed throughout the entire in-game day, with their zones being active for 2 hours at a time. We also have heard throughout the community that they tend to travel a lot during the day between zones, so it's possible for you to find it throughout multiple areas. Looking at this info sheet, we can see that all haggis have been found in the top 2/3 of the reserve, so it is safe to assume that they do not spawn in the bottom part, but it might be good to check it anyways, just to be safe. Moving on here, we have something pretty interesting. It seems like it is possible that the wild haggis have rare fur variations based off of this screenshot right here, and it is what appears to be an albino wild haggis. Now, I don't know if this is entirely true since there is no harvest screen of it as well, and we also don't know if it's possibly modded, but there is a chance that the wild haggis might have multiple rares. We also know that they can make diamond because there has actually been a diamond wild haggis posted in the Hunter official Discord, and if I can find a picture of it, I will put it up on the screen. And the last thing before we move on is that it seems that it's possible to spawn multiple haggis based off of the screenshot right here where Ben states, "I wonder who will be the first double haggiser." Now let's go ahead and briefly discuss the theories that were mentioned in the last video and which ones have been debunked. Previously, I mentioned that the haggis might have multiple requirements that must be met in order to have it spawn, and that these requirements might be different for each player. On January 29th, 2026, Vivi debunked this theory by confirming that there is only one spawn condition for the wild haggis, so that is amazing information to know. And now, we might actually know what that one condition is, but I will be mentioning that in a bit. Another theory that I previously mentioned was that deer and grouse kills might be a trigger in spawning the wild haggis due to the hints that we received in the animal description and throughout the missions, but it seems that, at least for the first one that you get, killing specific animals does not play a role in spawning the wild haggis, so you don't have to go throughout your map killing deer and grouse to get one to appear. Moving on to another theory based off of this poem that we received from Vivi, which states, "You won't see one true till after number 2. Hats off to those who do, but there's still more for you. There's no rhyme or reason, nor perfect time nor season, no point nor wind direction, just keen hunter perception. And time, and time." So the theory that I made based off of this poem was that maybe the haggis doesn't spawn until after completing the second mission in the story, which was about shooting the wild haggis hat out of a tree. This very well might be the one spawn condition Vivi mentioned, because it seems to be very straightforward that by saying we won't see one true until after number 2, she very well could have been referencing the second mission here. Moving on in the theory, I stated that spending consecutive time on your map might be required in order to spawn the wild haggis, due to the emphasis put on time in this poem, and huge news guys, it seems like this has also been confirmed. Let's take a look at this message that Vivi posted on January 29th, 2026 in the Hunter official Discord, which states, "If you have played the missions and have been playing in Scotland for literally hours, the haggis is on your map." This is groundbreaking information, guys, because this confirms that indeed missions play a vital role in the haggis spawn, and it might be the spawn condition that Vivi was talking about. And it also confirms that spending time on your map is essential to spawning one in. This message is extremely straightforward and gives us new ground to work on towards actually finding this little cryptid. But why have some people gotten the wild haggis by barely completing missions, and some have gone throughout the entire story and not seen anything yet? Their spawn mechanic might work this way. After completing mission number 2, there is a chance that the wild haggis can spawn by completing the following missions. Some people may get lucky and have it spawn in the earlier missions and find it while working through them. I believe that the chance to spawn the wild haggis continuously goes up via completing the missions, and once all missions have been completed and enough time has passed, the haggis has a 100% chance of being on your map. Now guys, the best way to make sure that the haggis is guaranteed to spawn on your map is to complete literally every single story and side mission on Scotland, and to spend literal hours on your map. Once every mission is completed, relogging and beginning to check the top 2/3 of the map thoroughly should give you an amazing chance at finding the wild haggis. Now that we know for sure how to get the wild haggis to spawn, let's go over the best method to actually find it once you've done the previously mentioned requirements. Looking here again on this info sheet, we can see that the majority of haggis have been killed roughly in the same areas. Based on experience from other animal behavior, we know that zone placement seems to be fairly consistent across multiple maps. These areas could very well be designated zone placements for the wild haggis, so a good method to find yours would be to thoroughly check the areas where haggis have already been found. We also know that the wild haggis likes to travel frequently between zones, and that a lot of these areas are conveniently placed around lookout points. And because of that, that leads me to my next point. Undoubtedly, I think that the best method to locate a haggis zone would be to reset your skill points to obtain a certain skill called Keen Eye, which is found in Tier 4 of the Ambusher tree. While this method is a bit costly, it could greatly benefit you in your search. Simply go to the skill section and select Reset Skills. This should give you all of your points back to spend. Ultimately, this will be a temporary change, so I recommend taking a picture of what skills you have in both Stalker and Ambusher to revert back to it later. When you spend the required points to unlock Keen Eye, you have to make sure to activate it as you see me doing here on the screen in order to use it. When you activate this skill, it will deactivate your zeroing perk. So in order to get it back, you simply have to go to Perks, Rifles, and then select the zeroing perk as you see me doing here, and reactivate the skill when you need it. Now let's move on to how the skill works. This skill activates when a player is within 10 meters of a lookout tower. You simply run up to the lookout tower of your choosing, press the designated button for activating the perk, which you should see in the bottom right, and it will begin collecting zones for you. When you begin using the perk, it will not give you many zones, but will progressively give you more zones the more times that you use it. After use, the skill goes on an 1800 second cooldown timer, which translates to 30 IRL minutes before it can be used again. However, there is a way to combat the cooldown timer. Simply exiting out of your game entirely and relaunching it resets the entire cooldown timer, allowing you to use the perk whenever you load the game back up. Now, of course, exiting and relaunching your game might be a bit time consuming, but it is definitely way more efficient than waiting out the 30-minute cooldown timer. Keep in mind that it only locates zones in a certain range around the lookout tower, and when I find out what that range is, I will be displaying it on the screen now. Utilizing this skill after completing all of the missions and spending a lot of time on your map should give you the best chance at locating your Haggis zone, but keep in mind that there is no guarantee that this will locate the zone for you. So now guys, let's do a quick recap. It has now been officially confirmed that the wild haggis is an animal that spawns off of one condition and time spent on your map. It is possible that the completion of story mission number 2 is that one condition in getting the wild haggis to spawn, and that the chance of spawning one goes up throughout completing the rest of the mission line. It has been confirmed that if you have played through the missions and have been playing in Scotland for literally hours, the haggis is 100% on your map as seen in this message here. The best method for getting a haggis to spawn is to complete every story and side mission, relog and spend more hours on your map, and then purchase the Keen Eye skill to help you locate the wild haggis zone. And with that guys, that about sums up everything you need to know in order to spawn and find your wild haggis. I really hope this guide helps you in some way, and hopefully we can start to see more players throughout the community take down Call of the Wild's first cryptid. If this video helps, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more guides like this in the future. Alright guys, happy haggis hunting. Bye!